On the anniversary of 9/11, we give you a story about a Muslim American who lost his life saving World Trade Center victims on that tragic day. Salman Hamdani, part-time ambulance driver, NYPD cadet, and incoming medical student, was suspected as a terrorist when he did not return home on that fateful day. After the truth was learned, Salman was declared a hero, even specifically being mentioned in the USA Patriot Act. In an exclusive interview with Salman's mother, Mrs. Hamdani, she reflected back on 9/11 and on her son's passing. Muhammad Salman Hamdani was born in Karachi, Pakistan. The eldest of two brothers, Zishan and Adnan, Salman moved to America when he was only 13 months old. Known as Baijan, or Big Brother, by his family, growing up Salman was not the typical American boy. He was the 12-year-old boy who rescued sick pigeons from the streets of New York City. It was this type of compassion and altruism that propelled Salman to action in aiding others on 9/11.
Salman wanted to be a medical doctor. Like if someone is in an accident or someone is injured or hurt, we could see their pain, but I think he could feel their pain. He just had to stop and help them, But apart from that, he said, Mama, I want to experience everything. I want to become an FBI agent. I would like to become a cop. That's why he went into the NYPD, became a cadet. You can't do everything in a short time. Just set your goals and try to accomplish them one by one. And this was the Eid of 2001. I said, dressed traditionally.
That's you?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This is my husband.
On that September 11th morning, he came across devastation, and just as he did with the sick pigeons, he aided in helping World Trade Center victims.
Zishan. And this is his graduation. Time goes by. This is his dog. He had Ulysses, a German Shepherd.
Never returning to work and never informing his parents of his whereabouts, the U.S. media and government suspected he was somehow involved in the 9/11 attacks.
So this is your whole family, right?
It was not until 6 months later, on March 20th, 2002, that his remnants were found near the rubble at the World Trade Center. It was learned that Salman lost his life trying to help World Trade Center victims, just as his friends and family had suspected.
This is Salman. We went to DC. Right, the Washington Monument. Interesting. It's so amazing.
How long ago was that?
This is in 80.
Okay, 1980?
1980.
1980,
Yeah.
okay. Very prophetic, right? The picture?
Isn't it?
It is.
Racial profiling of Arabs and Muslims has intensified since the attacks. According to Amnesty International, approximately 32 million people reported they were victims. Following the attacks, over 1,700 cases of discrimination have been filed.
That if you have a Muslim name, you are racially profiled. That's it. Straightforward. When there were other people who were traveling, who were Hispanic, who were traveling on their license, driver's license. And she says she's an immigrant, but she's not a citizen. And they didn't ask her for a passport. So I saw it with my own eyes. So that is something that we need as a community to focus upon, and we need to work on that. So Muslims get afraid. There's no need to be afraid of anybody.
Imam Shamsi Ali from the Islamic Cultural Center of New York agrees. In an interview, Imam Ali said now is the time for the Muslim American youth to build positive relations among Muslims and other people from various faiths and ethnicities.
What do you say to that?
I think this is a very good opportunity for the Muslim to build bridges with other people around, because Islam is about inclusivism. We must open ourselves to the people around us, whether it is officials or just lay people, non-Muslims. And I think being a part of the community at large in the city, Muslim community must not be exclusive. We must feel that we are just a small part of the society at large.
What is the number one concern among young Muslim Americans?
I want them to prepare themselves that they are the future of the Muslim community here in America. These young people will take over the leadership from the old people in the community. And whatever we do, we feel that it's not only for the Muslim community, for the whole communities. And that's why we reach our hands, we give our hand to other people and we take their hands to us as well.
I want everybody to know that there are several marshals in this demonstration.
After 9/11, more and more students are considering careers in the not-for-profit sector, teaching, and in law.
For the Muslim community, we need members representing us in the Congress. We need the younger generation to get involved with DC. That's where the action is taken. Become legislative aides, go serve over there. The youth, they should get involved in law in DC with the Congress. And at the campus level, at the university level, generate awareness. All the Muslim children, students at college level, at school level, just be who you are.
Mrs. Hamdani gave us an anecdote of her other son's case of discrimination with an ex-Navy SEAL who is now working with Circuit City.
My computer broke down, so I went to Circuit City over here in Whitestone, College Point. There was this guy, he asked my son for his ID. So my son says, "May I see your ID? Who are you?" And he says, "Well, I'm a security over here." Just flashed his, code with the Circuit City ID. And that is enough for you to know. And I could understand the anger of this young man, that was coming from. Like, he risked his life for this country. And look what his nation has done for him now. He's working on $10 an hour as a, security clerk at one of these, circuit cities, $10 an hour job. And there are no benefits for our veterans that come back from the wars. Yeah, they get paid for it, but don't risk their life for nothing, for lies. And that's the frustration we saw in this man.
Later on in the interview, Mrs. Hamdani told me that Salman's parting left her husband distressed and unfortunately resulted in his passing in 2004. This in turn, she said, left the family dog distressed, and in the process, the dog died that same year. Mrs. Hamdani said that her husband encouraged her to speak on Salman's behalf. She says this is her life's mission. 5 years later, Mrs. Hamdani has joined September 11th Families for Peaceful Tomorrows to enlighten and empower others to social justice and nonviolent action. She now speaks out against the legislation that includes her son's name.
Justice or for civil liberties or basic human rights, civilized world right. It's so sad. Educate yourselves, please educate yourselves in the history of our foreign policy, and you will find the answers right there. In the post 9/11 era, everything is being done in the name of 9/11 as a revenge, which, God forbid, if you suffer the pain that we went through, we don't want anyone else to go through that pain. Because revenge is not an answer. It's not going to, violence is not going to solve anything. It will just create more violence. The dream that I had in the morning started again from there. It continued and Salman has joined us. So I guess I take it as, we'll meet again in life, not in this life, after life. That's how I take it. I guess so. I don't feel he's dead. Physically I don't, or emotionally.
Salman demonstrates the best in human beings. When America was attacked, Muslim American Salman pushed aside ethnic and religious differences to aid the World Trade Center victims, a story one does not hear often.
This is Salman when he was born. Yes, his infant picture. And this is him. Salim was here. He came here everything to live for, everything to live for. I said, dressed traditionally. Unlimited desire to live, to experience life to the fullest, so to say. You know, I saw in him, and he would talk about it, that I want to travel and, you know, see the world and
As a dress tradition.
go to the archaeological sites
Yeah.
like I told you, and
All three of them. This is Zishan and him.
so many
They
things
were
that he
cutting the
wanted to do,
beards.
so many things. But he never got there.
This is Rima Abdelkader reporting for Bridges TV in New York City.